want to talk about waiting on God, receiving strength from God. Once again, we're coming from the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, down to verse number 30 and 31. And we're taking a look at waiting on God and receiving strength from God. Verse number 30 from the King James Bible says, "Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Verse number 30 talks to us about, shows us and reveals to us that even those who are young will come to a point where their youth will not be able to benefit them. It says that, verse number 30, that the youth shall faint and be weary, and young men shall utterly fall. And so what it's showing us in verse number 30 is that there, even for a young person or a strong person or a gifted person or talented person, that they're going to come to the end of their strength. In other words, he's saying, I don't care how strong you are, there will come a time where your strength will not be enough. I don't care how smart you are, there will be a situation where your intelligence will not be enough. I don't care how much money you have, he's saying that your money will come to a situation where your money will not be enough to get you through that situation. And so whatever your strength is, whatever your ability is, verse number 30 is showing you that there will come a time that your physical ability or strength or capabilities will not be enough to get you through the situation that you are going through. It will not, you will not be smart enough. You won't be strong enough. You won't have enough money. There's something that's going to come your way that's going to bring you to the end of your ability. I don't care if you're a parent, you're raising your children, there's going to come a time in the process of raising your children where you're going to come to the end of your ropes, where you're not going to have the answer, where you're not going to know what to do or how to do or what to say. The situation is going to be bigger than you. If you're in a marriage, there's going to be a time in your marriage where you're going to be at the end of your ropes, where you're not going to have the right words, you're not going to have the answer, you're not going to have the wisdom, you're not going to know what to do, you're not going to know how to deal with that problem. You're going to come to the end of yourself. And this is something that we have to understand in life, is that problems, trials, and tribulations don't just come to us, they come to everybody, and that it is a part of life. Trials, tribulations, it is a part of life. And one of the things that happens in the midst of our trials is that we find out just how weak, we find out just how inexperienced, we find out just where we are, because our trials bring us to a place where we come to the end of ourselves, and we have to face the facts that I don't have the answer, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to come out of this, I don't know how to overcome this, I don't know how to deal with this, I don't know how to get the victory in this situation. I've been fighting this battle for a long time. I've tried it this way, I've tried it that way, and I still have not been able to master this situation, and this is something that's dragging on. And so what my trials, one of the things that my trials do is they bring me to a place where I see that I am not the answer to my situation. One of the things that my trials do, they bring me to the end of myself. Now, it would be nice if we could come to the end of ourselves on our own. It would be much better, much easier for us if we would just make a decision to come to the end of ourselves on our own. But most of the time, we have to get tired. Most of the time, we have to get frustrated. Most of the time, we have to hit our head against the wall until we just get to the point where we just throw in the towel. But the purpose of the trial is to bring me to that place, because once I get to that place, now I am able to receive the help that God wants to give me. Once I come to the end of myself, I am now qualified to receive the help that God has provided for me or that God wants to give me, as long as I'm trying to do it in my own wisdom, in my own strength, in my own ability, then I'm not qualified yet. I'm not ready yet because I'm still trying to do it my way. I'm still trying to work it out myself. I'm still trying to handle it myself and do it my way or what I feel like needs to be done or should be done. And so what has to happen is that I have to come to the end of quarter. I have to come to the place where I stop. I have to come to the place where I give in. I have to come to the place where I fold. And that's the place where God wants me to come to so that he can get involved in my situation. He wants me to come to the end of me. He wants me to get to the point where I'm tired and I'm finished and I don't know what to do so that I can get myself out of the way, because God is not going to share his glory with me. God is not going to share his glory with me. God is going to make sure that when he blesses me, he is the only one who is able to take the credit for what he did. He's going to make sure that when he brings me out of this situation, he is the only one who is able to take the credit and say, I did that. We are going to be mindful of the fact that when God brings us out, can't nobody get the credit for what happened but God. And so God has to allow us to struggle. He has to allow us to flap around. He has to allow us to go through so that we'll get to the end of us, so that once we get to the end of us, now God is able to bless us. And when we get blessed, we'll always give the glory to him, because that's what God wants. God always wants the glory. He don't want anybody else to get the glory for something that he has done. He wants to make sure that when he brings you out of that situation, when he gives you the victory in that situation, you are only able to look at him and give the glory to him.
Amen.
That's what God has to do. He has to do that. He has to bring. He's not going to allow me to get the glory. He's not going to allow me to figure out how to come out of this situation. Because if I can figure out how to come out of this situation, then I don't need him. If I can figure out how to raise my children without God, then what? I don't need God. So God is going to allow some situations. He's going to allow some battles. He's going to allow some fights. He's going to allow some storms in my life. All of the storms that come in our life are not because, and I say this all the time, all of the storms don't come because you did something wrong. There are some storms that are coming because you are doing what you are supposed to be doing. There are some tests that are going to come just because you are chosen by God. Because God has trusted you with that test. God has trusted you with that fight. He has trusted you with that battle. God has looked at you and said, I can put this on him. I can put this on her, and they're going to be faithful in the midst of the storm. You have to understand that it is a blessing to be trusted with trouble. It is a blessing to be trusted with trouble. Because everybody can't be trusted with trouble. Everybody cannot handle the trial. Everybody cannot handle the tribulation. Everybody cannot handle the storm that you are going through. But you are able to go through that storm and endure that storm, and you're going to come out of that storm because God was able to trust you with trouble. It was a beautiful thing that God was able to look at Job and say, look at my servant Job, who is a good man, who is an upright man, who is a trustworthy man. God looked at Job and said, I can trust Job with trouble. I can allow Job to go through some stuff, and Job's not going to turn his back on me. Job's not going to stop serving me. Job's not going to stop worshiping me. Job's not going to stop praying. Job's not going to allow his trials and tribulation to make him walk out of the church and not come back. He's not going to allow his tribulation to end his marriage. He's not going to allow his tribulation to give up on his children. Job is going to go through what he's got to go through, and he's going to remain faithful. He's going to keep loving me. He's going to keep worshiping me. He's going to keep serving me. He's going to stay faithful in his marriage. He's going to continue to persevere with his children. He's going to go through the storm, and he's going to be trustworthy because I can trust him with trouble. We can't trust everybody with trouble because trouble will break some people.
Amen.
Trouble will cause some people to give up. Trouble to cause some people to throw in the towel, to walk away. Trouble to cause some people to give up and not even try anymore because they've gotten tired, they've gotten frustrated, they've gotten angry, and they have gotten to the point where I don't want to do it no more. You can read the Bible in the book of Jeremiah. The Bible talks about how Jeremiah had been tried and how Jeremiah was being abused, and every time Jeremiah the prophet began to talk and speak to the people on the behalf of God, Jeremiah said, every time I tell somebody about you, they strike me. Every time I try to do something good, I get punished for it. Every time I tell somebody about what God said, I get punished for it. Jeremiah was not a sinful man. He was not an evil man. He was a prophet. He loved God. He was serving God. He had given his life to God. But every time Jeremiah tried to serve God and tell the people about God, they attacked him. They punished him. They beat him. They took advantage of him. And Jeremiah got so frustrated one time till he came to the point, he said, I'm not going to tell anybody else. I'm not going to help anybody else. I'm not going to preach no more. I'm not going to love on nobody. Have you ever been in a situation where your good has been taken advantage of and you say, that's the last time I'm going to help somebody. That's the last time I'm going to do this for somebody. That's the last time that I'm going to go out of my way and do this. You cannot allow your trouble to break you. You cannot allow your trouble to change who God has made you to be. You cannot allow what you are facing to take away your ministry. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how rough it is. It is who you are. It is what God has called you to be. And you must be faithful in trouble. You must be faithful in hardship. Don't allow what you are going through to change who you are. If you are a loving person, love in the trouble. If you are a kind person, be kind in the trouble. If you are a patient person, be patient in the trouble. Do not allow it to rob you of your ministry. It is a blessing to be trusted with trouble.
Amen.
That's a blessing because everybody can't be trusted with trouble. Everybody can't be trusted. Everybody can't be trusted with a storm. Some people will fold in the storm. Some people will give up in the storm. But if God has allowed you to see a storm, it's because he trusts you in the storm. And just like Jeremiah, when he got frustrated and said, I'm not going to preach anymore, Jeremiah then turns around and says, there is something inside of me that won't allow me to be quiet. There is something inside I don't be taken advantage of. They don't lie on me. They don't talk about me. But now here comes somebody else who won't help. I got to help them too. Because there's something inside of me that won't say no. There's something inside of me that won't allow me to treat them the way they treated me. It's something on the inside of me that won't allow me to be nasty or mean or inconsiderate. There's something on the side of me that even though I know you're going to take advantage of me, you ain't going to treat me right, I'm going to do it anyway because that's who I am. That's the ministry that God has given me. It is what God has given me the responsibility to do. So don't allow your trouble to change you. You must be like Jeremiah. Jeremiah say, it's like fire shut up in my bones. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say it. I don't want to do it, but I got to because there's something on the inside of me that would not allow me to keep quiet. It would not allow me to be still. It would not allow me to see you hurting and not try to help you. It would not allow me to try to come and defend you. It would not allow me to not try and reach out and strengthen you in your weak place. There is something on the inside of me that's greater than my trouble.
Amen.
That's very important. There's something on the inside of me that's greater than my trouble. Yes, I'm in trouble, but what's on the inside of me is greater. My ministry is greater than my trouble. My testimony is greater than my trouble. The word that God has given me to share with you is greater than my trouble. And so though I may be going through, though I may be perishing, though I may be fighting death, though I may be beating on one side and beating on the other side, I will continue to serve God because what's on the inside of me is greater than what's coming against me. Right. So we understand here that we are going to come to a time, a place, a situation where we are not going to be enough. You're not going to be smart enough. You're not going to be wise enough. You're not going to have enough money. You're going to come to the end of yourself. And that's exactly where God wants you to be. That is not a bad place. That is a good place. A good place to be is at the end of you. Because when you learn how to come to the end of you, that's when God is able to be strong on your behalf. There's a scripture in the book of, I believe it's Romans, where Paul talks to the people. He says, I glory in my weaknesses. I glory in my trials. I glory in what I'm going through, because when I'm weak, then Christ is strong in me. Paul says, I'm not ashamed about the things that I'm going through. I'm not ashamed of my weaknesses. I don't try to hide my weaknesses. I don't try to hide my issues. I don't try to hide my vulnerability and my broken places. A lot of times, you know, we try to hide our vulnerable places. We don't want nobody to know that we struggle over here and struggle over there. We don't want nobody to know that we got an issue over here and an issue over there. We want everybody to look at us and think that we are so strong, that we got it all together, where everything is perfect and there is no issue. But that's just a lie. That's just a facade, because the reality of life is that we all got struggles. I don't care how long you've been saved, you still got a struggle. I don't care what title you got, you still got an issue. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your name is. You got something in your life you don't want nobody to know about. You got something in your life you are fighting, something you are warring against, something you are trying to get the victory over. You may have been fighting that thing for 5 years and you still trying to fight. You still trying to work it out. You still trying to get the victory over it. You got to understand that this Christian walk, it is not a sprint, but it's a marathon. It's not a quick race. It is a marathon. You will spend the rest of your life trying to be right.
Yes, yes.
Come on with it.
You will spend the rest of your life trying to make bad things right, make crooked places straight. You will spend the rest of your life trying to correct this and correct that. None of us will ever come to a place where we'll be able to sit down and look around at other people and say, well, I got it all together. Thank God I finished it. Thank God I got it all. Thank God I got all my problems worked out. I got all my children worked out. I got my marriage worked out. I got my mind worked out. You will never be able, as long as you are a child in this body, you will never be able to sit down and say, I got it all figured out. You will always be a work in progress.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
The beautiful thing about God is that God is able to use broken people.
Thank you, Lord.
The beautiful thing about the power of God is that he is able to take something as raggedy and messed up and as foolish as me and use me for his glory. The glory is not in quarry. The glory is in God, because God is able to take garbage and make garbage beautiful.
Amen.
Don't be ashamed of the garbage, because that's what God wants. Don't be ashamed of the broken places. Don't be ashamed of the scars, because the scars just show you've been through a battle. You don't have to be ashamed of the scar. This is who I am.
Amen.
This is what, listen, you may not have the scars I got because you ain't been through what I've been through, but I got scars because I done been through some stuff. I done had some sleepless nights. I done had to cry. I done had to moan. I done had to lay on the floor and roll around and not have the answer for life. And that's why you see the scars on me. But the beautiful thing about God is that he's made perfect in my weakness.
Amen.
He's made perfect in my weakness. He takes the garbage. He takes the garbage and he beautifies the garbage. He takes the ashes of my life. He takes the ashes of my failures. He takes the ashes of my bad decisions. He takes the ashes of all the wrong turns that I've made in life, and I've made a lot. And he takes those ashes and he makes something beautiful with those ashes. That's why you have to understand that it's okay to come to the end of you. It's okay to not have the answer. It's okay to not know which way to go. It's okay to not be able to figure it out for yourself. He don't want you to figure it out. He don't want you to understand it all. He don't want you to have all of the answers. He wants you to trust him. He wants you to need him. He wants you to have to come to him and say, which way do I go? He wants you to come to him and say, which choice do I make? He wants you to come to him and say, which decision do I make? Which way do I go? Because that's the God that he is. He is a God that desires to be needed by his people.
Amen.
He never wants us to live independent of him. You know, as parents, we try to raise our children to one day be self-dependent. Is that the right way to say it? Self-independent. Self-sufficient, thank you. As a parent, that's our goal. That's your ultimate goal in raising a child. I want to raise my child that one day my child don't have to depend on me. That my child will be able to pay all their bills. My child will have wisdom and common sense. My child will be able to make smart decisions. My child will be able to do, that's your, when you leave this world, you want to leave your children and be able to look at your kids and say, my children are well-rounded, balanced adults. They can handle life. When life throws at them, they are, and that's what a parent wants to do. And so we try to treat our children and raise them in ways to teach them certain things and build certain character.